Hey guys, what's up, and welcome to Flash Review. I'm not doing the clapping this time because I want to save time. So, the first game we're going to be talking about is going to be Slime. And the second game is going to be Slime 2. Or slimelab is what I'm going to call it. Because I don't want to say the full name. It's too long. I'm going to be reviewing those two games for this Flash review. So, let's get into the first game. Cue the transition. I don't want to talk too much about the game, so let's just talk about It's honestly pretty solid for the first game. Not gonna talk about the second one yet, that's gonna be in the next part. But yeah, the first game's music is pretty solid. Here's a listen. Pretty good, right? So, overall, the music for slimelab 1 is going to get a 3 out of 4. Now, let's get into In the game, the character you play as is a slime, and the graphics, I believe, are 16-bit. I think how the slime moves around is pretty cool, to be honest. It looks really good. So, yeah, props. This is the type of game that would work in the 2D, 3D sort of graphics, where it would look 3D, but it's an entirely 2D game. I feel like the slime might look good in those types of graphics, but it looks good here. Overall, the graphics are pretty good. The hitboxes are very well made, and it did take him like 3 years to make the second game, and it shows. But I'm not talking about the second game. I am talking about the first game and its graphics. They are really good. Also, I believe I gave the music a wrong rating. The music gets a 2 out of 2, and the graphics, get a 4. They get a 4 out of 4. Now, let's get into Let's start with the general mechanics of the game. Sorry guys, I was just adjusting my chair. But the general mechanics of the game are, you can jump like normal Flash game controls, but you can't use WASD, which is a little weird in my opinion. It doesn't detract too many points from the gameplay. It doesn't detract like a lot, but it does contribute to why this game isn't gonna get a 10. Spoiler alert, the game doesn't get a 10. But you wanna hear what I have to say. So, self-aware, haha. If you hold down, you get to be, like this, so you can go through more narrow places. What you can also do is you can gain these little chunks of flesh, as I like to call them. They make your hitbox bigger, but they make it so that you can also jump, which is the advantage of them. But if you do the previous move I mentioned, then you lose them. But if you do that move, you can actually push them as well, which contributes to a few of the game's levels. 3 or 4 have that mechanic, I'm pretty sure, in the first game. There's also these wind-blowy sort of platforms that, push you in the air. But if you go a little prematurely, bam, you'll fall. Boomy wakazoomy, you'll die. You've got these rotating spike platforms that can have anywhere from 0 to 3 spikes, I believe. You have this thing that makes you play the game upside down, which is super exciting. I want to literally kill myself. Please kill me. You got these moving laser things, which you have to avoid. You've got them not moving, which you have to avoid. A lot of things you have to avoid in this game, huh? You've got this thing, which makes you turn into, two of yourself, which is kind of underexplored in this game. Like, it's a really interesting mechanic, but you only have to use it in, 2 levels. So unlike the food pushing mechanic, this could actually be an entire level, but instead it's only a portion of a few levels. So it's just kind of weird. You've got these things where when you stand on them, they move. You've got the checkpoints, which they will randomly put in the level. Usually there's about 3. Sometimes they don't put them in the right places. Sometimes there'll be a checkpoint after 30 seconds, but sometimes you'll have to wait 10 minutes to get to one. It's not really that bad though, and it does make the game more challenging, which I can appreciate. You also gather these random packs throughout the game, but they just add to your high score, so it doesn't really matter too much. I'd recommend just never going for them, to be honest, unless you want to get every single one and be an ultimate pro. You've got slightly different platforms that when you step on them, they move. You've got these rotating circles that you have to kind of do this to go on them, but then you have to stop doing that, then you have to continue. Really adds on to the gameplay. You can tell someone who really knows how to design this game. And that's all for the minor stuff. The major stuff is that there's 2 types of levels. There's the normal platformer levels, then there's the levels where you're going upwards and trying to avoid a thing. These are usually the most difficult levels, but also usually the most fun ones, as they are very tense. I actually enjoy these. If the entire game was just these, the game wouldn't have enough variety. So I like this game, and I hope he makes another one. The last one was made in 2018, so if he makes another one, it'll probably come out in 2021, and I really hope he does. So, thanks for this amazing game. Now, the gameplay will get, the gameplay gets a 3 out of 4. Now let's get on to the next game in this series. Blah 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 blah, let's get into the music is remixed in this one. There's still the 2 types of music. Here, have a listen. I can't show you any of the music. So yeah, the music gets a 2 out of 2, blah blah blah, this part's never that good. It is cool how they remixed it though, and keep up the good work. Now, let's get into... The graphics are actually exactly the same. The only difference is that the lightning bolt looks like it's slightly more animated, or it has a different animation. Maybe that's just me, I don't know, but the graphics get a 4 out of 4. Wow, that is incredible. Now, let's get into what you guys probably want me to talk about more. It's pretty good. I'm gonna note all of the unique things from the game. They have these platforms that move side to side. Unique. They also have these platforms that move when you get on them. They're unique compared to the last game's similar platforms. There's now all of these creatures in the game that you can eat with your tongue, which is a pretty good mechanic because they can kill you and you can kill them. So I like that. They added quicksand into the game so that you can fall into the sand, obviously. I don't need to explain how quicksand works. But they add quicksand where there are the guys, so you might get hit by that while paying attention to the quicksand. You might sink into the quicksand while paying attention to the enemies. So it's pretty good. They added these balloons that you can jump on to get a little bounce. They also changed how the coin mechanic works, how every single time you die you have to re-get them. Doesn't really matter because I don't care about that. Doesn't affect the gameplay at all. And also, the game's generally harder. There's these yellow things that you can stick on that also have this weird mechanic that's hard to explain, but you have to use it to beat one level, so you're gonna have to use it eventually. It's just really hard to explain, but yeah. They have sections where you're underwater, which, yeah, everyone hates underwater things, but compared to the rest of this game, the underwater segments are not that infuriating and pretty easy, to be honest, so I actually like them. The hornets pretty much do nothing, except if you get close enough to them, they will charge at you. The weird scarab thing hides in the sand and pops up randomly. Both of them can be easily eaten, but when there's a lot of them in a certain area, it's pretty hard. Overall, all of the gameplay in the game is really thought out, and this is probably one of the best Flash games I've ever seen. And it's just, I don't know, it's just like, I know this game isn't for everyone, but there's two different styles of platformer in the game. It has good music and stuff, and it's just a solid game, which is why the gameplay gets a 4 out of 4, which means that slimelab 1 gets a 9 out of 10. But slimelab 2, you know what it gets out of 10? A 10. Ha ha ha, what a funny joke. Okay, I guess I'll review another game since we still have some time. I'm not even going to tell you the name of this because I do not want you to play it, and I'm also not going to count it as a game, so the rating won't be in any future description. Now, this game, the entire game is you move around Donald Trump's face, and then it plays this little animation. Now, let's get into there is no music, and I'm not playing a transition slide. Sorry, but there is not any music. Now, let's get into you move around Donald Trump's face. I don't know if it's like a political statement or anything. It's very weird, that's for sure. And there aren't any graphics to speak of, really. The graphics get a 1 and the music got a 0. Let's get into all you do is move around Donald Trump's face. I don't want to have to say it again and again and freaking again. The freaking Gaylord or whatever it's called gets a 1 out of 4. Overall, the game gets a 2. Wow, amazing. Out of 10. Alright, that one was pretty weird too. I guess I'll do another one. Mutilate a Doll Simulator is perhaps the most accurate title of a game I've ever seen. You mutilate a doll using multiple things. It doesn't matter which way you do it. It happens. You can kill the doll. You cannot. You can do whatever this is. You cannot. You can have the game break. You can have the game freeze. You can have the game break. You can have the game freeze. Basically, whatever. Let's just get in to, you know what, I'm just gonna give the rating of this game separately. This game gets, Mutilate a Doll Simulator 2 gets a 7. Now I want to talk to you guys about something else on this channel. I'm gonna try to make these Flash reviews as good as possible, so make sure to comment things down below. And I know it's kind of like, make sure to comment to support my video so that it gets more advertisement or whatever. But no, I actually just want to see comments for how I can improve Flash review. So yeah, do that if you can. Okay, bye, and I'll see you next time. Did you like the intros? Probably not. Bye, see you later. Dab on the hater.